What's up? Welcome to the BSZ. I'm Craig Carlsen. We'll get you caught up on the Reaver baseball and softball teams shortly, but kicking off our broadcast tonight, some prep soccer action. The St. Albert girls ranked 5th in Class 1A, taking on 3rd-ranked Bishop HEELAN on April 12th. This is a strong early season measuring stick for two programs that reached the state tournament last season. Weather not ideal with temperatures in the 40s, but luckily rain a non-issue in this one. Just 9 minutes in, a big blow to the Saints roster. Junior Nevada Mies takes a hard tumble, hits her head, and her strong defensive presence is gone for the majority of the contest. A couple minutes later, the offense trying to pick up the slack. Faye Osman with a shot from just outside the box, but her kick drifts wide left. On the other end, the Crusaders' Taylor Koolstra with a nice cross in front of the net, but St. Albert's Emma Munger breaks it up to keep HEELAN off the board.
Way to be, way to be.
The visitors continue their relentless attack in the 25th minute. Samantha Timkowitz with an open net to the right, but the sophomore can't connect. Finally, in the 30th minute, a kick finds the back of the net. HEELAN's Michaela Westling grabs the first goal of the game. Crusaders take a 1-0 lead. Late in the first half, St. Albert's Allie Cox, 6 of the team's 7 goals on the season, and suddenly out of the contest following her injury. Despite her absence, the Saints offense continues to attack in the 51st minute. A couple opportunities, but still held off the board. But with 2 of their better players out, St. Albert digging deep, and with just over 11 to play in regulation, Jen Rue ties the ball game at 1 goal apiece.
All right.
But less than 2 minutes later, HEELAN's response comes in the form of Timkowitz's go-ahead goal as 1A number 3 HEELAN hands 1A number 5 St. Albert their second loss of the season, 2-1, ending a string of 3 straight games against ranked foes for the Saints to open the season.
Just playing the better teams, the girls, you know, they'll pick up on stuff that the other teams do that we've been trying to tell them, but until they actually see it happening, you know, sometimes it doesn't click. But that's a huge advantage at the end of the year, yeah.
Rain picks up later in the day as the AL girls host the winless Atlantic Trojans. Just minutes into the game, the home team's Mackenzie Bolton puts the Lynx on the board first, scoring in the corner of the goal, 1-0 Abe Lincoln. And looking to extend that lead, Miranda Orth's penalty kick. She has no problem getting the ball past the goalie, and the Lynx take a 2-zip lead. Late in the first half, Megan Cheney gets a perfect pass out to Delaney Bolton. She then scores, and AL pushes their lead to 3 goals. Closing in on halftime, the Trojan defense attempting to clear the ball, but Orth takes her shot and hits the back of the net. The Lynx move up into halftime 4-0. Moving into the second half, Delaney Bolton joins Orth with 2 goals on the day. The sophomore records her 5th on the season, a team high, and that's the difference now. The Lynx offense shows no signs of slowing down. Kelsey Cheney wants to get in on the scoring action and scores from the ricochet off her own teammate. AL takes a very comfortable lead, 6-0. The Lynx defense records its 2nd shutout on the season, winning this one 7-0. The Abraham Lincoln improves to 2-1 on the season.
It's very important. They say the most dangerous lead is 2-0. So we want to make sure we keep pushing, that we keep our offense going. We've got a lot of firepower in offense, so we want to make sure we keep that lead, and we want to keep pushing the whole game.
We have a really strong offense. We have a lot of girls that are very fast, and we have a lot of subs that can come in that are just as strong as our forwards and our outside mids. So we just are very fast, and we have a lot of foot skills, and we can pass the ball well. That's what our short passes is what we've been working on.
Yeah, our defense is pretty strong. We have really quick players in the back, and with everybody moving the ball and talking of who has who and marking up on the fast players of the offensive threats on the other teams, then we have good speed and be able to take them down.
More soccer action on the other side. St. Albert taking on Tri-Center in a girl-guy doubleheader. Highlights after this.
What does the future hold for you?
I can learn.
I can lead.
I can play.
I can grow.
Put yourself in a great place. Iowa Western. Classes are forming now in more than 80 areas of study. Learn more, a lot more at IWCC.edu.
I can succeed.
No team covers Southwest Iowa sports like the team at Jenny Edmondson Sports Medicine. For nearly 25 years, Jenny Ed Sports Med certified athletic trainers have cared for thousands of area athletes and their schools. And our partnering physicians at Nebraska Orthopedics help ensure you're taken care of from diagnosis through rehab. If you need to be seen now, come by our Saturday morning walk-in clinic. It's open all fall from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Jenny Edmondson Sports Medicine.
Lynx fans can now log on to alsportsfan.com for archived and live broadcasts, team info, pictures, and more. alsportsfan.com, part of the cbsportsfan.com family.
This portion of the Bluff Sports Zone brought to you by the St. Albert Alumni Association.
Earlier in the broadcast, I mentioned that the 5th-ranked St. Albert girls put an end to a string of 3 straight games against ranked teams. That was before taking a look at the latest rankings. April 13th, the Saints taking on their 4th straight ranked opponent, hosting Tri-Center, who sneaks in at number 14. Tri-Center comes into the contest unbeaten, but certainly they haven't faced the kind of competition the Saints have thus far. And the offense very aggressive early. Allie Cox back from her injury against HEELAN, and her shot in the 7th minute sails just over the crossbar. Less than 60 seconds later, the junior forward back at it. This time, the shot tipped away at the goal line.
Good stop, Gabe. Good stop.
And in the 12th minute, more of the same. Cox with a shot, but unable to connect. And St. Albert okay with her taking as many attempts as she wants because eventually she can cash in. And 30 seconds later, she does that. Off the keeper's hand and in. Saints up 1-zip. Then in the 17th minute, Cox gets the nice feed from Faye Osman. Squares up, and she grabs her 2nd goal of the day. St. Albert up 2-0. 5 minutes later, those two back at it again. Another great pass from Osman that leads to Cox's first half hat trick. Believe it or not, the 2nd time this season that's happened. Saints rolling up 3-zip. Less than 5 minutes into the 2nd half, the roles reversed, the result the same. Cox to Osman for the 4-0 lead. Remember, Tri-Center ranked 14th in the state coming in, so no slouch, but just over 30 seconds later, their struggles with Allie Cox continue. She grabs her 4th goal of the game to put her team up by 5. Saints roll 7-1. Cox accounts for 5 goals to put her at 11 on the season. Osman's 3 assists push her total to 6 through 4 games. Both numbers lead all of Class 1A, and chemistry has been the reason for their success.
Kind of started last fall on club, Faye used to be one that would get all uptight if she missed a goal and that type of thing, and then it would carry on during the whole game. But when they started playing in club last fall, you know, it was just a Sunday. You got together on Sunday, you played ball, and they kind of started working together back and forth, and they're a great team together. They really are.
We've just been playing for a long time together, and just kind of like telepathic. We know where each other are, and it just helps a lot that she's up there, and I know that she's going to be there for the goal.
Honestly, we've played together in the same spot since we were probably like 8 or 9. So we know exactly how each other work. So that's why we kind of are in those spots, because we don't even have to like look at each other. She knows where to put it for me, and I know where she's going to put it. So we click so good together.
Same 2 teams take the field in guys action later in the evening. The Falcon defense has been stellar all season, just 2 goals given up through 5 games, but the offense shows up in this one. Josh Cochran's shot off the mark. The early pressure from the Falcons pays off quickly. Less than 7 minutes in, Francisco Barajas gives St. Albert a 1-0 lead. That's the score in the 11th minute. Tri-Center nearly evens things up, but great defense keeps the Trojans off the board. The close calls not limited to one side of the field. 6 minutes later, St. Albert with multiple chances to extend the lead. The Falcons come away with nothing. The silence only momentary, though. Later in the first half, St. Albert up 2-zip when Josh Cochran hooks up with Nate Dunning's head, and the Falcons lead by 3. In the 27th minute, the Trojans on the board with this great assist from Nathan Miller to Devin Heinen. Their deficit cut back down to 2 at 3-1. And not done getting after it. Late first half, Tri-Center nearly finds the back of the net again, but Brandon Stephanie just barely makes the stop. Just 4 minutes into the second half, Stephanie gets a little more breathing room. Francisco Barajas grabs his 3rd goal of the game for the hat trick, and with St. Albert back on top by 3 goals. And in the 69th minute, St. Albert tacks on one more for good measure to win 5-1 and move their win streak to 4 games after losing their first 2 of the season.
Thank God I got 3 goals. I couldn't have done it by myself. I had good goals there, but you know it's a good team. This win is really important. Well, just we don't want to get too cocky because we got Regina coming up too.
Are we a top 10 team? Probably, but you know, who cares until that season's over, until you get upstate? It doesn't matter. None of that matters. So we just play for ourselves, play within our own system, and do the best we can. Don't worry about what the opponents do. We just try to improve each week. So.
Don't change it after the break. A new name for the Iowa Blackhawks, but the same beatdown. Highlights from the CB Express home opener coming up, and an update on Reaver Athletics, football spring practice, and the baseball and softball teams in road conference games. We'll be right back.
Whether you're a weekend warrior or on an organized sports team, however you play, you risk injury. At Flex Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, we specialize in the prevention, recognition, treatment, and rehab of orthopedic and sports injuries. We have 30 combined years of experience, making us Southwest Iowa's leading physical therapy clinic. At our state-of-the-art facility and using the latest technology, we'll help you get back on the field fast. So if you experience a sports injury, you need to see us first. Flex Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your Southwest Iowa sports medicine professionals.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
If green and gold never gets old, then St. Albert Sports Fan is the place for you. Updated daily, it's loaded with articles, archives, and so much more. And if you can't make the game, you can still watch it live from the comfort of your own computer. St. Albert Sports Fan, the homepage for the home team.
This portion of the Bluffs Sports Zone brought to you by Cutler O'Neill, Meyer Woodring, family-owned funeral home, serving Council Bluffs and Southwest Iowa for over 100 years.
Following a loss in the 2011 APFL championship game, it was obvious that changes were coming for the Iowa Blackhawks. The 2-time league champs needed a younger roster, but under new ownership, the changes didn't stop there. A new name and logo hit the Mid-America Center for the CB Express's home opener on April 14th. Here's IWTV student Jim Brinklow.
The Express welcoming the Cheyenne Warriors, both teams in search for win number 1 of the season, and after losing to the Oklahoma Defenders, the youth-filled roster is seeking redemption. On the Express's first possession of the game, they go big. A deep pass to Adrian Perez gives Council Bluffs the early 7-0 lead. The CB defense also holding their end of the bargain. A little too much to handle for the Warrior O-line. Laurent Stripling gets to pick 6, extending that lead to 14. And following the ensuing kickoff, the defense back to work. This time they score on a safety, and that D accounts for 9 of the Express's first 16 points. Midway through the second quarter, a block kick puts the CB offense 8 yards from the end zone, and in one play drive puts Council Bluffs on top 23-zip. That score changes quickly. Next CB possession, Chad Schmiegel finds his receiver at the back of the end zone. Express rolling 30-0. Jumping ahead to the fourth quarter, again the Express knocking on the door. Schmiegel picks up the bad snap and just follows his blocks in for the touchdown. Council Bluffs leads at 43-0. The Warriors receive a rude welcome to the rail yard as Council Bluffs grabs a shutout 50-0 to improve to 1-1 on the season. The Express travel to Springfield for the next game on April 21st, but are back in town May 5th to take on the Colorado Lightning.
The CB Express doesn't have the only new logo in town. Iowa Western recently unveiling a new look Reaver for their athletic programs, including the football team, who's working with a bevy of depth at the quarterback position this spring. Here's IWTV student Jim Brinklow.
In the Reaver football program's 4-year existence, they've seen talent at the QB position. But never have they been this deep on the roster.
we're improving across the board, and I think that's what you want to see. You want to see improvement from year 1 to year 2 and add a little bit of competition into the mix. And, it's probably as good as we've ever been, across the board.
Veteran quarterback Jake Waters led the Reavers last year. He returns with high expectations.
The leadership skills and the commitment that it takes, and he's just bringing it. He's always been a winner, whatever he's done.
Oh yeah, it's I have a lot more confidence than I did last year, knowing that I'm one of the leaders on the team, and knowing I've been through this, so I know what to expect, and I can help the people who are new out, so that helps a lot.
Although Waters is a clear starter, the Reavers also bring in Ricardo Young. The Virginia Tech transfer focuses on learning the system and could take some burden off Waters in the running game.
The biggest thing is learning the keys, the plays, really getting acquainted with all the guys around here, and, just putting the offense in the highest efficiency as it could be.
Oh, he's picking up pretty fast. I mean, he's been in a D1 system, so he knows what it's like, and he has a lot of talent, and we're just moving along, and he's picking it up good.
As a former quarterback himself,
when you say throw, I'm going to say get out. You're going to spin out.
Head coach Scott Strohmeyer stresses the fundamentals.
Yeah, I mean, if you can master the footwork and your accuracy just in your everyday drills and translate that over into the team sessions, we've made a lot of progress. And like I said, they're working hard. It's a good group to coach because they take your coaching and try to apply it every day.
In other Reaver action, the #1 ranked Iowa Western baseball team just 1 loss on the season, that coming at the hands of Indian Hills back in March. The Reavers avenged that loss, however, with a 4-game sweep on April 15th and 16th to improve to 38-1, 19-1 in conference play. A huge lead in the ICCAC standings over second-place Indian Hills, who had entered the series on a 7-game win streak. Speaking of win streaks, the Reavers now extend theirs to 21 games. Next up, a trip to Muscatine on April 21st for another 4-game conference series. The Iowa Western softball team also in the driver's seat in conference standings. The Reavers ranked 18th in the country and improved to 6-2 in the ICCAC after winning 3 of 4 this past week. Obviously, every conference win is important, but these carry a little more weight when you realize they were on the road against the 2nd and 3rd place teams in the conference. The Reavers now carry a 3-game win streak into an 8-game homestand that includes 3 doubleheaders this week, with Maple Woods on April 17th, Muscatine on the 20th, and DMAC on the 22nd. We'll take a timeout. More soccer action coming up with the TJ girls. An impressive showing. Highlights of their offensive explosion after this.
Hi, how are you doing today?
What looks good?
Our special today is shrimp scampi. It's been sitting around for about a week.
Excuse me, what time are you guys leaving? We're gonna rob your house tonight.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of a heart attack and other complications. Learn more at diabetesaonc.org.
What does the future hold for you?
I can learn.
I can lead.
I can play.
I can grow.
Put yourself in a great place. Iowa Western. Classes are forming now in more than 80 areas of study. Learn more, a lot more at IWCC.edu.
I can succeed.
While they entered the week ranked 14th in Class 1A, they won't be among the top 15 in the new rankings released sometime this week. Following a lopsided loss to St. Albert, the Tri-Center girls making a return trip to Council Bluffs on April 16th, only to get beat up again, this time TJ doing the tail kicking. Here's IWTV student Scott Stover.
After defeating 3A 10th-ranked Urbandale, TJ girls entered the contest with a 3-3 record. Up by 1 early, Dana Mefford sneaks it by the goalie for a Yellow Jackets goal, 2-0 after 17 minutes of play. 66 seconds later, not wasting any time, TJ Samantha Arnold dribbles it by a defender and puts it in to extend the lead to 3. The home team takes a 4-goal lead into the second half, and with 30 minutes left in the game, a penalty kick goes to leading scorer Arnold. She beams it by the goalie, Jackets up 5-0. Thomas Jefferson continues to pour it on. 3 minutes later, Arnold, just a sophomore, but is third in all of Class 2A in scoring. She caps a 3-goal game to give her 11 on the year. TJ up 6-zip. 2 minutes later, junior Hannah Clark with an open look. She kicks it in to push the lead to 7. Not done yet, Nikki Zitka puts up the final goal with 7 minutes left on the clock, and the Jackets hold on to the shutout to win at home 8-0 and improve to 4-3 on the season.
It felt really good getting the shutout because they're a ranked team and we know that we had to come in strong, and then just playing Urbandale, we were told not to get our confidence too high because we had a rough beginning. So now working out the kinks and then finishing strong with the shutout against Tri-Center, which is another ranked team, made us feel great.
How this parlays into something, I mean, this is not that bad of a team. They got one of the better, probably one of the fastest kids in the state than Kaylee Grody, and we just marked her up and just tried to shut her down. And I mean, I was not expecting 8-0. To be honest with you, I was hoping for a 2-3-0 game is what my ultimate goal was.
I like the fact that I know my teammates will pass to me. They never get too selfish or anything. They never feel bad about whoever scores. We all work together and make sure that everyone gets a chance. We use what we have and we don't get selfish.
I got 2 great goalies. I mean, you interviewed Tricia, but Dusty Olson deserves just as much credit, and she's been rocked. Those 2 seniors are just nuts. They're just, I mean, they're 2 peas in a pod. They're both throwers on the track team and discus shot, and they're top 2 goalies in the program. They're perfect for each other. They challenge each other. And it's hard to pick one over the other because they're both so good in so many different ways.
That's it for the BSZ, your source for Council Bluffs sports. For news and events here in CB, be sure to tune in to CBTV 17's Bluffs News with Rebecca Ray. Until next time, we're out.